And at one point, Shaky McPedophile looks at Chris and he says, well, it was all wrong on my part, but she led me on a little. And of course, me being a comedian, my first thought was she led him on like by the hand, you know, helping him walk. And as fucked up as that is, what Chris Hansen said was actually worse. And to me, that's amazing, because I'm a comedian. Chris Hansen's just a news personality. And in the last week I've prepared this show, I couldn't think of a more inappropriate thing to say than what Chris Hansen said. Because Chris Hansen, without missing a beat, looks right at the pedophile and says, well, she's not driving the train here. That's what he said. Like, he had no idea that that word has other context for sex perverts. Well, she's not driving the train here. No one's running the train now, that's for fucking sure. Thanks a lot, NBC, for cock blocking me, bunch of assholes. He didn't say that. I wish, God, when that happened, I was more pissed at that than him wanting to fuck a 13-year-old girl. Chris Hansen sets you up for what has to be one of the greatest zinger comebacks in the history of comedy, and you don't take it? Now not only are you a pedophile, you're not funny. And that's 2 strikes. So he finishes talking to this guy, they take him to jail and arrest him, where he asks to be released into the custody of his mother. Strike 3. Now you're not funny, you're a pussy, and you're a pedophile. And I finished watching this clip, and the first thing I did is scroll to the comments. And the comment section was pretty crazy, because there were only 2 groups of people. Half the people felt bad for him, probably because of the palsy. And then the other half was chastising the first half for feeling sorry for a pedophile. Bunch of stupid, faggot, liberal pussies. It's people like you that let these monsters roam our school halls. And I found myself somewhere in the middle, because I didn't feel sorry for him either. But it wasn't because he was a pedophile. I didn't feel sorry for him because he's an idiot on a massive scale. Because he should have known it was a setup. A lot of people agreed with me, but for the wrong reason. A lot of people thought, well, he's so fat and hideous, he should have known no woman wanted to fuck him. Should have known it was a setup, and that's not true. We all know, personally, one fat, bloated motherfucker that gets poontang on a regular basis, even though it boggles our minds. Like, those fat women at Walmart that ride around in a motorized cart with their back fat covering the seat, dragging 3 dumbass kids that still look smarter than her deadbeat husband with a sleeveless cut-off t-shirt and a NASCAR hat. She didn't become fat from giving birth to 3 kids. She was fat then. Fat people can get laid. The reason this guy should have known it was a setup is because there is no woman or 13-year-old girl on the planet who is stupid, brave, or crazy enough to let a man with cerebral palsy take an electric razor to her nether region. That would never happen. There's a greater statistical probability that I'll get laid after this set, and we're already hovering at the 0% mark for that. That would never happen. It's ridiculous. You're picturing it in your head right now, aren't you? Imagine that. Shaking like an alcoholic 3 days into detox, trying desperately to shave a little heart-shaped pattern into the tattered bead, but by the end it just looks like a Rorschach test. Oh look, a flamingo. It's ridiculous, and there's not a single, I don't care if you have the most unkempt muff in this state. No woman is crazy enough to let a man shave her private parts if the accidental circumcision of your clitoris is a real and terrifying possibility. It's being one muscle spasm away from getting turned into a life-size Barbie doll. Whoops. Well, it kind of looks more like a heart now. Sorry, I've never been good with clits. They've boggled me my whole life. But hey, at least I found it this time. It was right here on the carpet by the foot of the bed. Maybe I can like spot weld it back on. Just dust it off a little, you know. You feel that? No? What else is new? So do you have any Gorilla Glue? Epoxy? No? Oh, never mind. Here's a stapler. Chink, chink. There we go. Good as new. That would never happen. And if you are crazy enough to let someone try that, meet me outside. Okay. Well, you all laughed about pedophilia. You realize this. That's fantastic. Well, now that you're all enjoying a guilty pleasure, I'm going to let another musician come up and totally ruin that image for you. Thank you, everybody. Have a great evening.